Stephon looked, again looked good, but I got to wait and see, see if, how clean it all was. But Tig showed up a few different times that really stood out. But they all had, some good, and all had some bad,
It's Blank starting to get reps with the first team and really make an impact.
What has he done? He's worked hard. He's picked up things fairly well. He's got he's really hard on himself. Very prideful, very hard on himself. He's got a high football intelligence. He's got good instincts. Plays well with his eyes. And he's always ready to go every day on the field. So you've seen him consistently put one in front of the other and make improvement since he's been on campus. So we've been very pleased with his progress. Gives us a better athlete in space to be able to match up with people.
What do you feel like you got on defensive end today with Malachi out for the test?
I don't know. It's going to be hard. I have to wait and see. Obviously, with the number one thing is we've got guys that maybe wouldn't have got as many reps, more reps, and opportunity to bring those guys along. They need a lot of reps. We need a lot of work there. We obviously none of those guys have ever, started a game. So, in this league, in this day and age anymore, you need guys that can rush the passer, and you need guys that can set the edge. And a year from now, Malachi won't be here, so it's better to start, having an opportunity to develop those guys, quickly, because they need to step up. We'll probably have to rely on some of these other young guys coming in, a couple of these kids, to get an opportunity to see if they can crack that too deep, because we're not very deep there.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What are you seeing from Vic Beasley? He's kind of bouncing around a couple of different spots.
Yeah, he's making an improvement. I guess he hasn't played very much, and he's athletic, can rush a passer. He's gotten more physical. He's understanding what it is to play with technique and leverage, and just playing with discipline. And so I know he can do it. You guys got to do it every snap. That's what we're pushing for.
Where's Blank spending that? Has he been moving around a lot?
No, we're trying to get him really good at our nickel position. Instead of bringing him in here and get him really average at a lot of things, try to get him really good at one thing and kind of go from there. But he has a lot of flexibility. He can do a number of different things, whether it's corner, safety, or nickel.
What are you seeing out of the defensive tackles? I understand they did well on the goal line today.
Yeah, those guys have showed up a lot since we've started practicing. Those guys, there's like 4 of them there that consistently have shown up. And again, that's not to say they're great every single play, every single day, but again, showing the capacity to be disruptive, to play physical, to play with leverage, to hold point, to execute. We're just still trying to fine-tune a lot of little things, but Dan's done a great job getting a lot of guys that haven't played in a position to help us and not be the weak link.
As fast as this offense goes, do you think it helps you at this point in trying to get this defense installed in a scrimmage situation? Or
well, I think that's the way a lot of teams play anymore. So you have to adapt to it. Coach Sweeney and Coach Morrison, those guys on offense have gone above and beyond trying to. You have to help each other in how you. Just like we did at Oklahoma's, and playing in the league that we did. You still it comes down to having a foundation of fundamentals, technique, and playing with leverage. So you have to. There's a way in which you have to teach and install just football 101, both sides of the ball, where you can help each other. So we've done that in our preparation and in our practices. Try to structure things that where everything isn't always pedal all the way to the metal. So because even those teams slow down. So you got to know who you're targeting on offense. You got to know who your reads are. You got to be able to locate, rotations and all that. And Guys got to locate backwards and everything else. And if you can't do that, on the flip side, everything else I say, you got to line up, read your key, play with technique, adjust. That's the game. And you got to have a foundation where, again, it's trained reaction. And then again, we try to stress them, and we do stress them every day. And because obviously that's in vogue right now. So you got to be able to handle that tempo. And to me, again, if you can show the capacity to handle the tempo, then you've taken a huge weapon away from the offense, because that's an advantage if they have you on your heels. And if it's not an advantage because you're handling it well, then that's one more bullet in yours and one less bullet in theirs. So.
Anything else?